To get started on the rice stitch, we need to make a foundation chain in any odd number. So as long as you want, as wide as you want, as long as you use an odd number, this stitch will work. So to get started, I have chained 25 for my swatch today. So pause the video, go ahead, make your foundation chain in an odd number and meet me back when you're ready. So once we're ready to begin, we need to place a double crochet. Now in the UK this is known as a treble crochet, but for the purposes of this tutorial I'm going to be using US crochet terms. There will be a link to a conversion chart in the description box below. So to get started we need to put a double crochet in the third chain from the hook, so not counting this one on the hook. 1, 2 and 3, insert in there for a double crochet. And we're just going to place a double crochet in each stitch all the way to the end of the row. So the first row is a really nice easy one. So once you have a whole row of double crochet, then I will meet you back when we move on to our next row. Just a quick tip for this row: when you get to the end, not counting that turning chain, you should have an odd number of double crochets. So just have a quick count once you get to the end, and I'll meet you back when we're ready to move on to the next row. So I'm now ready to move on to row 2. I have 23 double crochets in my row, not including this turning chain and this chain 2 from the beginning. So to move on to the next row, you want to chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and turn our work. So in the very first stitch, so at the bottom of that chain 1, that very first stitch here, we are going to place a half double crochet. Each row starts and ends with a half double crochet, so just keep that in mind for when you're starting and finishing each row. Now we're going to move on to creating the rice stitch, which is a one row repeat for this pattern, and we're just going to be doing front post and back post double crochets. This is a really good stitch to practice that front post and back post while creating something really lovely at the same time. So we're going to be working around the posts of our stitches, so around our stitches instead of in these stitches or V's on top. So we're going to begin every row on this one. So this is your first one, we're ignoring that one, and we're working on our second one here with a front post double crochet. So we're working from the front of our work. You're going to yarn over, so it's a front post double crochet, yarn over around that post. So put your stitch, your hook behind that post, yarn over, pull through. So you've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's one front row double crochet. So you're going to alternate your front post and now your back post. So start your double crochet as normal, and then working on the back of your work, you're just going to bring your hook around that next post, so around that post, and complete your double crochet. I like to be a bit more slack with my tension when I do a back post double crochet, just because sometimes it can pull it up and make your work a bit tight. So now we've done our back post, we're going to be doing our front post again, so around that post and complete your double crochet. And then we're going to be doing a back post, so yarn over, and you're just going to go in from the back around that post and back out, and then complete your double crochet. And then a front post again, and you're just going to repeat this all the way to the end of the row, where I will meet you back and let you know where to place that half double crochet that we start and end each row with. So one more time for the back post double crochet, so yarn over and insert around that next post from the back of your work. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And as you can see, that is starting to alternate, so you'll have these grooves in the middle of your front post double crochet. So I'll leave you to work that all the way to the end of the row, and I'll meet you back where we will then look at where we're placing that half double crochet. So once we've completed, or almost completed the end of the row, each row should end on a front post double crochet. So if you have an odd number of stitches, you should end on a front post double crochet. So around that double crochet for a front post. Remember, we don't count this turning chain, so it looks like we've got 2 chains left, but actually we've only got 1 stitch on top because the turning chain isn't counting as a stitch. So you might need to just turn your work slightly to be able to see that stitch, but instead of going around that post, you're just going to go into that stitch on top and create your half double crochet. And then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So just like before, at the start of the first row, we're going to put a half double crochet into that very first stitch at the bottom of our chain 1, and then we're going to start with a front post double crochet. So as you can see, this was a front post on this side, but on this side it looks like a back post. It's set back from this stitch, which was a back post, which is set forward. So we're actually going to do a front post double crochet around that stitch. So we start each row with a front post double crochet, and we're going to bring it forward. And then around this one here, we're going to do a back post and so on. So that's how easy this stitch repeat is. I'm going to build my swatch up a bit just so I can show you what it looks like on a bit of a bigger scale. So I'll meet you back and show you that shortly. So I just wanted to show you my my swatch worked up a bit. So the rice stitch is a really lovely, it's a textured stitch, it's really nice. It's quite dense, so it's probably better for like cows and scarves, or for even like borders of things, which is really nice. But yeah, it's really lovely textured stitch, and as I said before, it's a great stitch for practicing that front post and back post double crochet. So if you like my channel, please give it a massive thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really lets me know that you like my content and want me to create more when you subscribe. So I'll catch you on the next tutorial.